He would become the first million-dollar fighter to manage his own career.
I can see a supermarket for my father. I can see a home for my mother. I can see myself, have my own business.
The new Sugar Ray became boxing's main event before he ever won a belt.
I didn't really say I wanted to be world champion. I said that I wanted to be special. And I worked on it. Hard.
The WBC welterweight champion, Wilfred Benitez.
That work paid off. 2 years and 9 months after turning pro. By the time they met, Benitez had been the welterweight champion for nearly 4 years. At age 21, the kid from Puerto Rico was the seasoned veteran.
When the referee's giving instructions, you'll see how cool and calm Benitez's facial expressions are, how relaxed he is. You watch me, I'm really, really just tight.
With each man trying to outpoint the other, the rounds began to add up.
Leonard drove another hand, Benitez goes down from a left jab on the chin.
In his first 25 fights, Ray had never been beyond the 10th.
I was exhausted, and so was he.
Benitez tried to hold on. He hurts Benitez. He may have him in trouble.
By the 15th, both fighters were in deep water.
And Benitez is down. Benitez is wobbling. He takes the mandatory 8 count. Holds onto the rope. Only the referee stops the fight. The fight is over. We've got a new welterweight champion of the world.
I saw in him something in his eyes that I had never seen before.
My wife looked at him and busted out crying. He was so beat up. And he was the winner.
Just 7 months later, the new champ would endure another test of willpower. Manos de piedra, hands of stone. Roberto Duran hadn't lost a fight in 8 years.
Duran, during a press conference, he pushed me, he shoved me, he cursed me, he cursed my wife.
He gave me the finger. And I think that enraged Ray.
I was so mad that I wanted to fight Ray right then and there at each of the press conferences.
He didn't like me because I was making more money and I was becoming more famous than he. He resented that.
2 days before the fight, Ray closed his camp to the press.
I put down approximately 20 questions, and Ray, how are you going to fight Duran? Amongst other questions. And he looks at me and says, I'm going to fight him flat-footed, and you tell the media that.
4 years after boxing his way to Olympic glory, Sugar Ray returned to Montreal with malice in his heart.
I went in there with no fear.
My brother fought the people fight. So Ray was determined to knock this guy out.
I had to let him know he wasn't the man to beat Roberto Duran.
He challenged my manhood. I got caught up in the psychological warfare. He played off me and won. My family and all those that are in my camp, they've never seen me take punches or absorb that kind of punishment. Devastated, emotionally devastated.
He had married Juanita earlier that year. He took his family to Hawaii to reflect and heal.
I was so beaten up that even then I thought about retiring and said, you know what, I don't need this.
So I told him, I said, if you walk away, I'm walking away with you. We started together, we're gonna leave together.
But Ray couldn't walk away. He demanded a rematch and lost the confidence of his childhood trainer.
I said, Jake, I will win this fight. I'm gonna get him. And, you know, he wished me well because he said, I won't be involved. Because he truly believed that I couldn't win that fight against Duran in a rematch.
Five months later, same scenario, the same question. How are you going to fight Duran? And he looked me in the eye and said, not flat-footed.
In New Orleans, Sugar Ray Leonard would step out of the shadow of his namesake and his idols.
He hugged me, and he said, I love you, son. I love you. And that's all I needed. No one would have beat me that night. My brother Roger came up with the perfect plan.
In order to beat a bully, Duran was like a bully, you got to make him look stupid. And I told Ray to make a fool out of him.
A little Ali. He's taunting Duran. Look at the Ali tempo now.
Por eso el boxeo ha caído bastante hoy en día.
Nowadays, I don't think people want to pay to see a guy clown around or fool around in the ring.
Look at that.
All of a sudden, people were laughing at the great Roberto Duran.
In the 8th round, losing on all cards, Duran simply stopped fighting.
When Duran said no mas, naturally I didn't know what it meant.
Duran says no. I think he's quitting. He quit.
I started getting really bad stomach cramps. And I was like, well, you know what? There's always going to be a rematch. I gave him one. He'll give me one. So the hell with it. Let's go ahead and end it now.
The new champion, Sugar Ray Leonard.
If Ray would have lost that fight, I think it wouldn't have been no Sugar Ray no more. That was the turning point of his career.
It would become his trademark and his addiction to take the big fight on the biggest possible stage.
Sugar Ray Leonard, the fight of the century.
The war. Can Ray Leonard do it again?
Everything stopped for a second, just to watch that moment.
That's when it really becomes very seductive.
Because you want it. You want more.
Feeling 7-Up, I'm feeling 7-Up. Sharing styles, sharing smiles. Feeling 7-Up, 7-Up. Feeling like 7-Up.
Good, huh?
Wow, we got the check! Nah, that's just my dad.
By 1981, Ray Leonard had taken command of his sport.
We wanna be like Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray Leonard, the charismatic WBC welterweight champion, who has become America's newest hero.